When running your cleaning business, it is important to be the one in charge, to be the one that directs and make sure that your team members follow your direction and your judgment on what needs to be done. Letting everybody know, running the cleaning business, there's a lot of people out there that are going to go ahead and, kind of want to take lead, kind of do their thing, want to go ahead and question why you do things and this and that. That's why it's important when you hire people in the beginning that you are the one directing, you are the one giving reasoning for why you do things, and your expectations need to be met by asking people to do stuff. It's easy to get into a team or people to work with and everybody's cool with one another, and all of a sudden when you start asking for things to be done, why? I don't want to do that, or that doesn't make any sense, or anything, and you can explain yourself till you're blue in the face. If they don't respect you, if they're not willing to listen to you, you're going to have issues. You're going to be butting heads, and it's important to make sure that you assume responsibility of making sure people follow your direction early on in the hire. Because if people are staying around and let's say you kind of let them do as they do, and then you try to drop the hammer a little bit later, they're not going to be willing to listen to you. They don't feel like you're a superior. You need to be able to have it to where you ask them to do things and they do it willingly. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Does this hit your standard? Are you happy with my service, with what I'm doing, my work? Yes. You want to establish that early in the beginning. That way, so you're not trying to direct the crew or team members and they're going to go ahead and give you lip or backlash as far as reasons why they don't want to, or that doesn't make sense. Yes, that does happen. You're working with people and you're comfortable and you work with them all day and you're buddy. First off, you got to keep a work relationship just work related. I know by personal experience, having personal matters with people that you work with, just being a friend, I hate to say it, but friends are going to take advantage of the situation. Nobody's treated a boss less than a boss than what a friend has, in my experience. If I was just a boss and we weren't cool or we didn't hang out or do anything or whatever, you're going to look at me just straight as a boss. That makes complete sense. But if you're hanging out with me as a friend and we go to work, those lines get fuzzy. They really do. The lines get fuzzy. People don't want to, give you the respect as far as being the one in charge. A lot of times when people clean for a while, sometimes they think that their work is great. That's why, and it sometimes may not be. It might be good, but there might be some things that they need to improve on. And asserting responsibility in the beginning as far as of your crew and making sure that they do exactly what needs to be done, diagnosing how they work, making sure that they're hitting those KPIs, those key performance indicators. Are they coming to work on time? Do they look professional, dressed to impress? Are they treating you and the team with respect? Are they treating with customer respect? Are they completing their job? And are they doing it in a diligent time? Those things, and have a great attitude. You could be doing all the best things in the world, but if your attitude stinks, nobody wants to be around somebody that has a bad attitude. So those things start to sniff their head a little later in the process. Everybody that starts is going to be real cool. It's after months after or years after they feel like they can assert themselves in the way that they want. And sometimes people get I'll tell you this, people get a bad attitude after working certain hours. I've noticed some of the best people, I don't know whether they're just like got to get out of the job or they're rushing to get out or they're tired or, puckered out. Their attitude will change like that. So I want you to understand that you need to assert the I'm in charge. From the very beginning, you need to be asking people to do certain things. You need to see that they're able to do it and keep it going like that. You may have people working on your behalf, and you may not be there pulling all the shots, so to speak, but they need to answer to you. And so, just working with friends, working with people, those are red flags that you need to show them you are the boss. You are the one in charge, because ultimately, it's not just like, oh, I'm the boss, you got to listen to me. I'm the one that deals with the complaints of customers, or if there's an issue, they're not going to go after Mr. Joe Smith or Selena Gonzalez or whoever it is. They're going to go after you, the owner. So if you got to answer to people, you need to make sure that people are working on your behalf to making sure that the job gets done the way you want it. You got to make sure people give you that respect. If people are working for somebody and they don't like the way that they do things, they don't have to stay. They can voice their opinion, but when you're confident in the process, that's what you do, and you show your confidence that you can take care of business and you have reasoning why, then people really shouldn't be questioning you on it. It should be, hey, I understand you have an outcome that comes out of this. We like to see the outcome. The experience is great. What does it take to get to that point? Okay. If you kind of leave it up to, a group of people to do it however they feel, things are not going to turn out the way that you want. You need to know exactly how that job needs to be completed, how it needs to be, the process needs to be handled, before it started. That way, so we know we're greeting the customer, we're finding out exactly their needs, whether the owner or a team lead or manager, what exactly do we approve the service and pricing? Was this already done? And then, are we introducing the crew? Are we getting the crew ready and getting them started, telling them exactly what we need to have done, working together, getting the job done in a certain fashion, and making sure the customer's happy at the end, doing a walkthrough, making sure they're taken care of, and the service experience was great. That's what we need to do. You can't be having to where people don't work together, bitter amongst each other. One thing I do notice is that if you're going out and cleaning, it's a very detailed job. Unless you're not being very detailed and people just want you to do kind of just a whatever job, just make it look okay. In my line of work, I'm taking pictures of sinks, of showers, of toilets, of ovens, surface areas, fans, blinds. They know when I'm done cleaning, it looks fantastic just by pictures. So your pictures need to be on point. If you're sending out pictures or if you're showing off the home, you need to make sure to check every drawer. That way, so you're not opening drawers and, oh, we missed this and that. It looks unprofessional. It doesn't look like as if you did your checks or your team didn't work as well on it. I've been there. It is good to make sure that you check areas, especially areas that you don't see, like drawers and stuff like that. Make sure that they're done. Don't take people's word for it. People just give you verbiage. Just, yeah, it's done. It's whatever. No, a lot of times you need to go back and you need to make sure it's taken care of. I usually like to have it to where the crew works together and they check each other's work. But at the end, ultimately, you need a manager, you need a point of authority to say, this is done to our standard. You're not going to expect, the whole crew to have the same standard as the owner. And the manager is maybe not going to quite have that same, but they're going to be the closest to it. And if you find a good manager that's going to go ahead and take care of the business and make sure that we stand by what we're delivering and promising to the customer, then it's going to be great. We're going to do a good job. The whole point of a team is to be team effort, work together, have a positive attitude, making sure that people are willing to take sense of direction and orders. You know, after a certain point, people should get pretty used to how things are done. But every job is going to be a little specific. You know, there's going to be sometimes, you know, a lot of times we're working top to bottom on a clean, but maybe, you know, this house with so much filth on the floor, we needed to start with the floor going up. You know, maybe the floor first, because we need to get all that stuff off the floor before we can actually start putting our supplies down and putting the ladder to hit the fan and clean the fan, you know. So there's always exceptions to a rule. You know, I do like to explain little things to help people out. So like when cleaning the toilet, taking the plunger and the brush away, you don't have to move it all the way out of the bathroom, you know, 8 feet away. Move it 3 feet away. That way, so when you're done cleaning, you can wipe the bottom of the floor, wipe the plunger, wipe the brush, and put it back. So you save yourself time and effort. A lot of times I'll have it to where if I'm cleaning like a table, under the table, mopping under the table, I'll move the chairs, but I'm not going to move them really necessarily all the times out of the kitchen, you know, 5 feet away, and I'm moving 8 chairs away. I'm going to move them about 2 to 3 feet in front of the table, clean the table, make sure all those things, and then mop under it, and then put the chair right back. So making it to where you're doing things efficiently, where you're not having to move a bunch of stuff all over the place. You know, if we're mopping out, I like to close the door behind me, get that square before, and then open the door and turn around, and then now we're just mopping our footprints out. So that's being efficient about it. If I know I'm going to clean a living room and I got to clean behind couches and chairs, I'm going to pull those out first, get that detailed, put them back. The last thing I have to do is the center. You know, why would I clean the center and then move the chair and then clean behind it and push it back? Now I got all the dust from the under the couch into the center. I'm gonna have to redo it. So doing things that make sense, explaining to your team that you want things done a certain way. It could be as simple as loading equipment, making sure that the equipment's loaded right in the car. How many times have I told somebody, hey, I put the caddies in this way, I put the step stools in this, I do that, blah, blah, blah. And people put, you know, to me, the detail, what counts is in the details. You know, people, I like it when my broom handles and the bottom of the vacuum are not facing, let's say, things I usually touch a lot, like a refill caddy or stuff, have it face in opposite way. And how many times people will not do it a certain way. I think a lot of times they don't think it's serious, but when your job is about detail and being serious, you know, being thorough, yeah, I like my car loaded a certain way. There's only so many items, and I do it always about the same all the time, you know. So those are things that you need to make sure that people understand, that you want things done a certain way, and they need to know that from the very beginning. Because if you're running it kind of like however it goes kind of thing, and then later on you try to say, hey, look, you know, we need to really do this and that, people may have an opinion, and because you weren't very vocal in the beginning. Now all of a sudden you're having all these decisions and you like it this way. They should know what to expect from the beginning. And this is coming through experience. I've worked with, you know, just associates, and I've worked with people that I've, you know, been friends with. And I hate to say it, you know, you can sever friendships and relationships because of work-related things. You know, you can resent somebody because, you know, they just disrespect you at a job or don't do what you're asking for and things like that, or vice versa. So, you know, like I say, there could be a lot of benefits to extent to working with people, you know, but, you know, if lines get crossed, sometimes it's best to look for people that you just treat as associates. Like I say, making sure they know exactly what your expectations are, that's going to help you. That's going to make sure there's a team lead at each job, knows exactly how you like things. That way, so the job gets done the way you want it. Just want to give a little tip of advice. If anybody wants to comment on anything I've said, please do leave a comment. I'd love to go ahead and bring comment, you know, react to your comments, whether write a message or I'll make a video, subscribe. But I'll tell you what, you know, I'm starting this YouTube channel. It's not been around too long. I want to bring value. I want to tell people about my experience running a cleaning business. It's not all, cotton candy and rainbows. But there's a lot of positives. And, so I want to kind of walk you through my journey as far as what I've learned and what I keep learning. I appreciate you guys. Y'all have a good one. Until the next time. Bye.